This is Ghent. It is one of the prettiest medieval themed modern city in the heart of Europe, Belgium. It also lies within the circle of 2 to 3 hours from major European cities like London, Paris, Amsterdam, and even Frankfurt. Frankfurt is a little further, about 4 hours from Ghent. But this proximity makes it a very attractive touristic destination. Belgium also have some good schools and universities like UGent, KU Leuven, KASK, Vlerik, and many more. And for its size, Belgium is also doing pretty good economically. So even working professionals like me can find good life in this beautiful country. Now, if you belong to any other criteria than what's mentioned above, then my apologies. But the point here is, many people are trying to travel to or within Belgium, and they are wondering, how do you find a house in Ghent? Okay. Now, anyone's natural response in such cases would be to look for housing agencies like this one to either rent or buy a house. And there are many such agencies in Ghent. Fortunately, you don't have to visit them all. You could just go to the website called immoweb.be and you will find listings from all these Immo agencies at one place. Sometimes you could also find listings from private owners over here. Now, finding a house in Ghent suddenly seems very easy, right? No. Many times you will be visiting the house with at least 5 to 6 people at once. I remember one time one of the tenants living in the house that I was trying to rent told me that 20 people have visited the house so far. And that was also just within a week. So I'm just coming back from a house visit for a friend. And in the video, you will see how many people were looking for the house at the same time, and also some of the conditions that these agencies apply for renting the house.
We always do the reference form if you have a tenant, previous landlord here in Belgium. Then you can add a copy of your income sheet, your ID, and like a little motivation letter for the living department. You can send it through to the Kotagent.
At the end, it's just one house. So you really have to work on your application as if you are applying for a job. To be honest, it also depends on the time of the year. Some months are really chill, but some months are extremely competitive. And if you are a student, then just forget whatever I've said before, because many of these listings from Immo websites will have a condition that they are looking only for working people. So what about the students? Fortunately, Ghent is a very big student city. Over 70,000 students visit Ghent every year. And that is a big chunk of its population. So the city is also designed accordingly. Now, the best way for a foreign student to find housing here would be university or school housing. But let's say if your school or university doesn't offer any student housing, then there are private companies like Upkot Xior, which do have some private student housing, like what you can see behind me there. Now, if you are going to go with private companies like Upkot Xior, then you just have to make sure that you're booking your room at least 2 months in advance before the start of academic year, as places like this can get full very quickly. You can start your booking online from any other country, like one of my friends did from India, and as these are legitimate companies, you can trust their contract process. Of course, this convenience comes with some additional costs. The rooms from Upkot Xior, although can offer very communal environment, they can be comparatively more expensive than, let's say, finding a shared house, for example. But if you want to avoid the hustle and stress of finding an accommodation while moving to a new country and studying at the same time, then this could be a great option. Now let's say if you don't want to pay extra for your convenience and you're ready to put some efforts for looking for a house on your own once you move to Belgium, then there are some Facebook groups like Co-housing Ghent and Rooms and Apartment for Expats in Ghent, where average residents of cities like Ghent and also other cities across Belgium will put ads that they are looking for a housemate to live in their beautiful shared house, where you will get your own room, but all the other common spaces like living room, kitchen, bathroom, and also sometimes garden will be shared. And because you are sharing the common spaces, you are also sharing the total rent, which means the rent that you will be paying for these shared house will be way cheaper sometimes than what you will be paying for your private student rooms through the companies mentioned earlier. But yeah, because you are finding these shared houses through Facebook, and anyone can post anything on Facebook, the chances of you getting scammed are pretty high there. So I would recommend, if you are looking for Facebook groups, then try to visit the house in person by yourself, or ask someone who living in that country or that city to visit the house on your behalf before paying anything. Apart from this Facebook groups, there is this website called Kotagent, where you can also find student rooms, or what they call here student cots, for a reasonable price. But again, it's just a website, so any private owner or an individual can post a listing, and because of which the trust factor here is still a little bit shady. So what you can do here, let me tell you what I did 3 years ago, so you can make an independent decision on your own. So I was in touch with a group of people that were going to study with me at the same time. So we decided to book an Airbnb together, sharing the cost for initial 15 days. And most of the group found something during the same period, except for me. So then I decided to move in for additional 10 days with another friend who was also part of the same group, and found a student room. I did that because during that period I got a confirmation from the house or co-house I was looking for that it will be available, but only after a month and a half. So I decided to stay for 10 days with him, and then for a month I booked an Airbnb with a random Portuguese student I met on Facebook. I confirmed my booking only after meeting her in person, and at the end it turned out that the lady was nice, and eventually I also moved into my co-house, where I stayed for next 3 years. I was moving in and moving out with a bunch of people I met for the first time while attending the classes in a new country. And that was during September 2021, when the COVID restrictions were just getting relaxed, but I still had to go through some administrative process of vaccination and all. So it was too much in a short period of time, but for me it was manageable. In fact, I would say I enjoyed it. Made some great relationships with the housemates and the friends I made along the way, and also saved a lot of money over the period of 3 years. Now you know the challenges and the advantages that comes with them if you decided to take that challenge. If not, then there is still those private housing, student housing available for you. But let's say if you still want to move into a co-house but avoid the hustle that I had to go through, then recently I got to know about the website called Colochousing. It is a website where you can find co-housing online. That means you can book it from anywhere, and it is a legitimate company, so it can be trusted. But because the process is online, it is also slightly expensive than finding a co-house from Facebook group, for example. But because I know very limited information about the website, I would just link it in the video description, and then you can check it on your own. And yeah, if you want to move into co-house, it could be something for you. And basically, this is how you find a house if you are a working professional or a student trying to move in Belgium. If you are a tourist, then I hope hotels, hostels and Airbnbs will do for you for now. But whoever you are, if you are in Ghent, feel free to reach out to me on my new Instagram account that I created recently. Would love to meet some of you in person and just expand this network that we have. Finally, I would say, if you have noticed, I've filmed this video in different locations, shirts, and also with different hairstyles. You could literally see the weather change in my background. This is because this video was filmed over the period of over 2 months now, which means it took some effort. So if you know someone who's planning to move to Belgium, then do share this video with them, and hopefully they will appreciate it, and then I will also appreciate it. So, merci, bedankt.